Never seen a lame man walk. Never heard a dumb man talk. Never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a cancer dead. Never seen all the poor get fed. Never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name.
Hey everybody! It is Bigger T for the Big C, Bigger T podcast. I'm Travis Johnson, and boys and girls and people of all ages, it's time for the show. And I'm here as always with he's my best friend, Clint Clark, Big C. How are you, buddy?
You know what's funny? I thought you were going to do the Stan joke because that you do. Man. I ate some flan.
Yeah.
Out of the pan.
Yeah.
My best friend Stan.
I've played in a band.
Doing all he can.
Yeah.
So I thought you were going to do that, but you know I've been changing my name on these on the speakers like every week.
Yeah.
But sometimes you leave them up and like it'll just be like when we had Big O on. He just his just says O.
That's right, because he.
And so me and you were like late coming off that one, so I'm like, okay, I have to change it to C.
Yeah.
I've been Arkansas Joe Rogan, Arkansas Tom Segura. I'm pretty sure I'd misspelled Bert Kreischer, so I've not even tried it.
Yeah.
Half the time I just leave my wife's name up, so I almost put not Stan.
Not Stan, okay.
Today, but I about lost that story somewhere in there. I didn't get it back on. There's also, I don't know if you noticed, but usually, you know, we play up like you scare me.
Yeah.
And this week I may have had an actual look of panic on my face, so I've switched the view on the computer. I don't know how to get it back.
Oh, okay.
That's
like, what that look was for.
Yeah, but I had a pop-up come up on the middle of the screen where I couldn't see me or you. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Broke Anna's computer. He's going to kill me. And I'm going to tell Travis, we're going to start it over. Can I do this entire thing without seeing Travis? I don't know.
Well, who knows? Well, hey, Clint, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing your seatbelt?
I've got a broken wing.
Oh, here. Hey, look at there.
Had cubital tunnel surgery.
Say that again.
Cubital tunnel. Cubital. What it is the nerve tunnel that goes from the base of your neck all the way down to your hand, through your arm. I'd had the surgery done about 2 years ago, but I had a bunch of scar tissue and stuff grow in on top of the nerve again. And so I found that nerve up really bad. Then they'd go in there and they had to clean that scar tissue out. So yeah, so they feel like it was a success. They got everything. And so I think, they said I should see a lot of relief, but it had been not a fun few months for me, you know.
Hey, well, you got out of moving.
I did get out of moving. Yeah, you can tell I got a new background. I got to get used to it. I'm used to like leaning back. Oh, that's the wall. That's the wall.
Yeah.
Really got all kinds of room.
Oh, look at you! You can run around, scamper. You can scamper.
Scamper about. Yeah,
scamper around.
We bought a house with a lot of property, so a lot of room to scamper about.
Good.
But what's bad about it is, you know me, Travis. I'm lazy.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't want to mow this stuff.
Which I mean, that's why we're friends, because I'm lazy too.
Yeah, I'm like, I like having the 1/4 acre plot where I could mow like it takes me like 10 minutes to mow. That's an all-day job on a riding lawnmower.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah, that's too much work.
Yeah, I'm like,
you get a donkey.
Yeah, you know, there was one time I was on vacation in Texas. I went to Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I go somewhere and I'm staying more than a day or two, I typically Airbnb VRBO it.
Yeah.
So I get this. So we get to the house, and me and my wife get there first. We have some other friends because, like a lot of our vacations, they tie into a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah.
So we got down there and, enjoying. I wanted to look a lot of the sights and sounds from Friday Night Lights. It's a lot of what I did, but that's not about this story. We can talk about that another time. We get to Airbnb, which is in a nice subdivision in Pflugersville, Texas, which is right outside Austin. We get there.
Lugersville, huh?
Yeah, it's one of them weird things. Starts with a PF. So I think that means the P and the F are both silent. I don't know.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, something like that. But we get out there in like it's a nice subdivision. I'd say a house in this market in that subdivision would probably cost you about $350, $400.
Yeah.
Just my guess.
Yeah.
I based that on that I sold and bought a house this year. That's what I based that on.
Yeah.
That is the extent of my real estate knowledge. So I probably should just shut up, but
yeah,
it's based on the value. But so you get my drift. It's a nice subdivision. The house on the corner of the street I was on, they had a goat like chained to like a tire or something, like a concrete block. And that guy's like, I ain't mowing.
Keep it weird, Austin. Keep it weird.
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, it's like I got pictures of it on my phone. Like it's one of the things you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, are you serious? I mean, it was, yeah.
That'll work. It works. Well, hey, Clint. All right. So I think we got some Holy Shnikey stuff.
We got one, and I got one that I told you I wasn't going to tell you about.
Yeah, you didn't tell me.
I didn't tell you, but I thought it was cool because I really think that between me and you, we made it happen.
All right, good.
Well,
we make something happen.
We didn't make it happen, but as you know, and all three people involved have been on the show. Okay. Jumbo's son, Chance.
Yeah.
He pretty much sat in behind Jumbo. It was like his little shadow the entire podcast. And then Jumbo, and then Coach Mullins gets involved in the story.
Oh, wow.
So one thing I really admire about Jumbo is he never forced Chance to play football. Because Chance didn't care to play football.
And he's a good sized kid. He's one of those kids that expect people to say, go play football. So like they did us.
They did, and they wish they didn't.
That's right, yeah.
Now I'm on here pretending like I know something. So anyway, so Jumbo never made Chance play. Jumbo always told Chance, like, I don't have to live vicariously through you. I did it.
Yeah.
Because I did it, so I don't have to live vicariously through you. I'm good. So this year, Chance decided he wanted to play football. And so Jumbo is over the moon, but he's all excited. So he's posting, clips of his game and stuff, and clips of Chance playing. So one of the things that happened when we had Coach Mullins on the podcast too was a lot of the guys reached out to me for his phone number. Just say, hey, loved hearing from you, loved hearing your voice, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So Jumbo posted this on his Facebook page, and Jumbo was one of the guys that got Coach Mullins' phone number. Yeah. If nothing else to say, how come? Because we had Ricono and Mullins both on the podcast, and the only thing either one of them remember about Jumbo is that he couldn't make it through tires.
Yeah.
Jumbo called me like, because that's all anybody remembers. I couldn't make it through tires. Jumbo, they also mentioned you went on to be an All-American, conference top player. So relax. So anyway, so Coach Mullins watches the video. I'm sure he looks at Miss Liz's Facebook and calls Jumbo and talks to Chance and gives him blocking advice.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? If they hadn't reconnected it wouldn't happen.
Let's look at us.
But no, but he's also
podcast building bridges.
There you go. And we also did say he did jump just a little bit more to the story. Is Mullins did say to send him the film every week and he'll break it down.
Nice.
So and tell him what he could do better and all that. So
all right. Well, cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool.
That is cool.
It was a very cool story. I don't know if it's Holy Shnikey's worthy or not.
Yeah.
but it's a feel good.
It is. That's cool. That's cool.
Feel good that I felt the need to share
All
here
right.
on podcast to Rooney.
Well, I got a couple of just small, like, holy shnikes stories that I just heard this week and thought, holy shnikes, that happened. First of all, tell me who said this, Clint.
Okay.
You play to win the game.
Oh, that was Herm Edwards. That is one of the greatest rants ever.
You play to win the game. Well, Herm Edwards, coaching at Arizona State, after the game, there's a video of him walking off the field, and two guys in the same color, kind of button-up shirts, are standing there, and he comes up to talk to them, and they say something to him. One of them kind of pats him on the back. Herm says something. He walks away. You can't hear on the audio what happened, but Clint,
Right.
Come to find out, that's when he was fired. Now, when Bielema was fired, at least Hunter Yurachek pulled him into a. Was it Yurachek that fired? No,
it wasn't Yurachek, because that was an entire disaster after
that's right. Yeah, that was someone else.
That might have been one of the most bungled things in the history of bungled things.
Well, they pulled him into a room as he walked in with Bielema. They pulled him into a room and told him right before he went to address the team. This was on the field, Clint.
Yeah.
Literally on the field, especially a guy like Herm Edwards, a Hall of Fame football player. Wasn't he Hall of Fame or something? Like,
he's not Hall of Fame. He's a well-respected football.
Yeah, well-respected coach, well-respected TV personality. Went to Arizona State. I don't know how he did there. I didn't look up the stats, but apparently not good enough. Fire him on the field?
He's 1-2 this season. Now the timing, I don't care if it's
Nothing's a good time when you're getting fired.
Well, I didn't like it with Arkansas how they fired Bielema, and they even pulled him into another room. I didn't like that. We got ragged pretty good. Even by our own media said it making us look like hillbillies.
Yeah.
And that entire process was just from them firing. They fired Jeff Long, and Jeff Long
left laying him or down.
Yeah. So then you basically let your interim athletic director make the hire. And I believe she's the one that fired Bielema, and they just pulled it off. But Bielema said, because I'd rather them done it that way and just got it over with.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's, but this is just bad. It looks so bad. It's not quite getting tarmac, but I think Arkansas State fired a coach like that once a long time ago. So yeah, it's not a good look. I'm not saying Herm didn't deserve to be fired, because he is leaving under some serious NCAA allegations.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so another one is former Razorback Dan Skipper.
Oh yeah, I'm happy you brought this up because I wanted to talk about it.
He was on Hard Knocks, got cut 6 years. He's been cut every year, hasn't made a team yet. And I guess Detroit put him on their practice squad. They had some injuries. They moved him up, moved him to left guard, a position he hasn't played since his freshman year at Arkansas under Sam Pittman. And he was, if I remember right back then, he just didn't have the footwork as a freshman to play tackle yet. He ended up at left tackle later on, but they put him at a guard then. So, to kind of that way he wouldn't have to have a speed guy on him outside and everything. And then he had a great game and got the game ball, everything.
Now, did you watch any Hard Knocks?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Can you dislike Dan Campbell after watching Hard Knocks?
No.
Or think Detroit got the hire wrong? Now,
I was late watching it. I literally just watched it this last weekend. But But yeah, you got Campbell and that whole
Man,
coaching staff is impressive.
they're so easy to pull for.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. And Dan Campbell just seems like a great guy. And then after hearing, because Lord knows his phone's probably blowing up after the game. And then to hear, Sam Pittman talk about how, he said he texted him and said, I wasn't expecting a text back. And they text back and they had a nice little exchange about Skip and Frankie. Yeah, we called him Frankie. So, yeah,
Well,
Frankie.
Congratulations, Dan Skipper. Now, there is something that came out today that some San Francisco player is saying Dan Skipper made some inappropriate racial comments or something in the past. So I hope that's not true.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. Now, here's the other one. Last week, after the Missouri game this last weekend, apparently, if you've heard about it, the traffic was bad, but apparently it got really bad in a parking deck because two people had some kind of fender bender. And in that, a guy, I don't have his name here, but I just got this tweet about it. He used to work for Tyson, but now he's the COO for Beyond Meat. So that's like fake meat, right?
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like the Impossible Whopper.
I'm thinking, Clint, if that's your job to push fake meat, you're the chief operations officer for fake meat. I'm thinking you're a smug, unhappy person and no one really likes you. Because apparently this guy was a smug, unhappy man. And he let it out in this disagreement, fender bender he got into. Because apparently he busted out the back window of dude's car and then started fighting with the guy and ended up biting his nose. Look, Clint.
You think he saw the movie Dirty Work too many times?
I wonder if his wife's from Saigon.
Get off my nose.
If you've seen the movie Dirty Work, you're laughing right now.
Yeah.
If you haven't, that's okay.
Now, did you know that Chris Farley's role wasn't written into that movie, that he was just hanging out? And so they came up with that on the fly.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so Clint, have you ever been so mad? Like you and Robert used to get into fights in junior high.
Hey, Travis, who won those fights?
Well, you did, Clint.
Thank you.
Now, if we were going by best
form, as adults, it means nothing. But back then, it's like, Rrr.
If you're going by best form, Robert had the better boxing form.
He did.
He had more to build on.
Right, yeah.
But you had the swim technique. You just started flailing your arms, and
I was just like, I'm not going to quit punching.
That's right. And there was nothing that could. Anyway, of course, y'all mostly did it because it got your attention, but we won't talk about that.
Like, but in
those fights, did you
tetherball pole Branscombe?
In those fights, did you ever cross your mind? I'm gonna bite him in the nose. I'm just gonna come on.
Mostly, I'm thinking about how stupid I was back then, because I'm like I don't even know what we were mad about.
Yeah, it's nothing, probably.
I know it's nothing.
But I'm sure none of us did anything to encourage it.
No, I'm sure.
I'm sure we
piled up.
I'm sure we're like, can't we all just get along? But
I've never been mad enough that I'd have bit off someone's nose.
No. And if you are, you need to be working for Beyond Meat, I guess. Anyway, all right. One more thing. This ain't necessarily those were Holy Shnikes. This one's not necessarily Holy Shnikes, but just a quick look ahead before we start talking about the Missouri State game. Did you see the Razorback schedule came out today?
You know, I'm so happy you brought that up. I was just looking at it. And I was like, we didn't discuss it, but I'd love to talk about it.
Well, here it is, real quick. You ready? I'm gonna breeze through it. I don't want to talk about it. Let's not get camped out on it too long here, because we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. But we're starting out September 2nd against Western Carolina Catamounts.
They're the best team in the western part of Carolina.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Really,
anyway,
they might be the best team in the state of West Carolina.
yeah. Then we play Michael Turner's old school, Kent State. Then the BYU Cougars come this way to Fayetteville. So those first 3 games, the first one, Western Carolina, is in Little Rock. The next 2 are in Fayetteville, right? Then we go down to Arlington, play the Aggies. That starts SEC play.
No, actually, no, you were incorrect. We go to LSU. That's how we start SEC play.
Well, why the schedule I'm looking at? You're right, and this one is wrong. Okay, go through it on your end. Sorry.
All right. So, okay, at LSU, and then on September 30th, then we go to Arlington. Then we go to the Grove, go to Ole Miss on the October 7th. Then October 14th, we play the Alabama Crimson Tide. Then the 21st, we play Mississippi State. Now, did you see the post on Razorbacks Instagram where they were doing it like Tinder matches? So on October 28th is bye week, and they used a picture of In the Sink. Get it? Bye. Very clever.
Yeah.
Then we go Florida. That was the interesting. Like, yeah, we're definitely. Now, I think we're trading down non-conference opponents, but trading up cross division.
Yeah.
Then Auburn comes to Fayetteville, and I hate this. November 18th, you play FIU. That's just one of them games no one's going to care about by that point.
Yeah.
And then you close out the season by Mizzou. They've got it listed as a Saturday, but that usually gets moved to Black Friday.
Yeah. Well, but look at that though. Here's the bad thing about it. LSU, A&M neutral site, Ole Miss, Alabama, all on the road, 4 in a row. 4 good games.
Yeah.
On the road. Tough games on the road. That's gonna be a tough one. Anyway, for those that hadn't heard that, now you've heard it. So Clint, after the game, well,
I was going to say, have you listened to any drive time this week?
Very little.
Any sports talk? Because I'm going to tell you, the word on the Twitter sphere,
yeah,
on the street,
yep,
is the sky up in Fayetteville.
In Fayetteville, yep.
She's a fallen.
It's falling.
It's falling.
Crashing.
It is.
Is it falling in and out?
It's reaching for the sky is reaching for the life alert.
It's falling in and out of love with hogs.
So Travis, you're hosting Drive Time Sports.
Oh, nice.
I would assume to bang my head in the wall because I couldn't make it through 10 minutes. Okay, how long do you think I would make it through Drive Time Sports before I literally?
Well, I mean, you'd have to get rid of callers. It'd be like the Jim Rome of Drive Time. Yeah, we're not going to take callers today. You're not going to say anything good.
More of me, less of you is what we need.
I'd rather just listen to me because what you say is going to be trash. Yeah, it's
take a caller like every 30 minutes just so I could call him an idiot. I think I would.
It's not just the Call In Sports on Facebook, everywhere, man. Sky's falling. Who won the game, Clint?
Arkansas did.
Hey, Arkansas won. Now look, okay, I'm not going to argue. I thought we could have, should have beat them worse than what we did. Everybody knows that. Sam Pittman knows that. All the players know that. We could have, should have beat them worse than what we did. We were much better team. We shouldn't have been down 17. yes, Bobby Petrino called some good plays, but some of it, Clint, look, how many turnovers do we have?
We had 3 turnovers.
3 turnovers. One of those, Clint, one of them very rarely happens. How many times is Rocket Sanders going to fumble that ball if that dude doesn't put his helmet exactly on the ball?
Yeah, I mean,
and how many people are going to be able to? Emmitt Smith, I heard Trey Biddy say this. He said Emmitt Smith couldn't have held on to that, and I think he's right. Emmitt Smith was one of the best. He did a great job of holding on to the ball and not fumbling. He always, man, he'd get those 2 arms up. Even on that play, the way that guy put his helmet on it, anybody would have had a hard time. Okay. Now, you still, as a coach, you're still going to say, we don't fumble that ball. I agree. Let's not fumble that ball. But we came back from 3 turnovers. The other one was a
KJ fumbled. KJ, he rarely fumbles. This is the second time I can remember, and they both been this year. And then the interception too. And where were they at? You look at where the 3 turnovers were. 2 of them put Missouri State at midfield.
Yeah.
You give Bobby Petrino a short field, there's no telling what he can do.
So both of us, just for those of y'all you're watching, look, if your sky's falling guy, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're here to give you a little hug and tell you it's okay.
You're stupid, though.
We're going to pat you on the back. It's okay. Look, it was a bad game, but we won. And a bumpy ride, as Nolan Richardson used to say, is a lot better than a walk, a fast walk, whatever he said. It's better to ride in a car than have to walk where you're going. Okay, is what he was getting at. So, but here's the deal. So let's talk first, Clint. Who's our players of the game?
All right. I am going to give it to Bryce Stevens.
Okay, good call.
I mean, you know what? It was one of the things we needed a spark. We needed a big play. We really did. Because typically against teams like that, you start the blowout with a big play.
Yeah.
The blowout never arrived. But the punt return, I know Pittman pointed out number 11 said, I told you if you block that, we get that gunner that you'll go, and you've got that gunner. So I want to give an honorable mention to number 11. I don't know his name, but obviously he made a big block and it was recognized.
Yeah, who was it? Yeah, he blocked the gunner. Who was that?
Sam McGabe or something like that.
No, that's M'Baku or whatever. He's a freshman receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a freshman receiver, and they got him on special teams. And yeah, Sam told him, if you block that guy, we're going to have a chance at a good return. Yeah. He didn't know he's going to get him all the way. But then the other ones, there was another, returner that Stevens did a good job on. It's nice to know we got a threat back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know it came against an FCS team, but guys, I think you still should beat the FCS teams.
Yeah.
But Pittman's got 40 transfers.
Yeah. He's
got a lot of D1 talent on that team.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. Pittman's great, but Petrino's a jerk. But if you're sitting there and you're not really playing at Baylor or somewhere like that, or Mizzou, and you're sitting there and you go, I can go down and play for Bobby Petrino. I can start there.
Yeah.
Play for Petrino, and Petrino's going to put you in good situations.
Yep. And you're going to learn football from him.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and
I really thought hard about giving Petrino player of the game. I really did, because me and you neither one are Bobby Petrino fans. No. Never have been, never will be.
No,
it is what it is.
I wasn't a fan of him when he was winning games at Arkansas.
No,
consistent.
But he's a heck of a football coach.
He can coach, man. He knows football. Golly.
He knows football.
He knows it.
And he knows the game, and he's going to put them kids in great situations to win. He just always wears out his welcome. But he did a lot of great things there. So he got us to Heights, got us to BCS game.
Yeah.
he did some incredible things here, and Pittman's using him in recruiting, saying, "Look, Petrino did it here. We can do it."
Yeah.
And I think Pittman surrounded himself with a better coaching staff than Petrino had.
For sure. Well, because
Pittman's a likable guy.
You can get guys to play for him or coach for him because they like him, not because they're related to him. But anyway, my player of the game. We've talked a lot about the transfers, Clint. We've talked a lot about those, and we're thankful for them. I mean, people like Matt Landers and Drew Sanders, Jordan Dominic, and all those guys. Okay, I mean they've been great additions to this team. But there's one guy who's been there since he was a freshman. Came in at 204 pounds. Now he weighs 261. And he's a legit SEC defensive end. And that is Zach Williams. Now, Zach Williams has 2.5 sacks on the year. And I think he had 2 of them in that game. Okay, if I remember right. But what I've seen from Zach this whole season, and what I've seen from really most of our defensive linemen, except a few times, first of all, he's playing the run very well. He is holding his leverage on the outside. He's keeping contained as a defensive end should. There's very few that can keep contained, hold their leverage, and still rush the passer well. I'll give you some names. Trey Flowers did good at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamal Anderson did good at that. Jeremiah Ledbetter did good at that. What did those 3 guys do when they left?
They went to the NFL.
Yeah, the NFL. Yeah. And one of them, Flowers, Dietrich Wise, another one.
Yeah.
Okay. Zach Williams is doing that same kind of thing. He's probably getting himself a paycheck ready. Okay. And I think it needs to be said because I like to watch those defensive linemen a lot, and he is playing. He's having a great season, kind of quietly, because as we're going to talk about in a minute, there's a lot of other people that got sacks too, and they're making noise. But Zach Williams had a great game that game, but it's also cumulative for me. He's doing good.
So now I do want to validate some of you skies falling folks. I really do.
Yeah.
Because Travis, you brought up the defensive line. Would you say the defensive line is better, worse, or the same as last year?
Better.
All right. The linebacker core. Would you say they're better or worse than last year?
Better.
Yeah. Drew Sanders is a man.
Yeah.
He is a man.
Yeah.
They were talking about him. They said, yeah, he said he would have came here out of high school, but they just weren't good enough.
Yeah.
And which is painful to hear, but it's brutally honest.
Yeah.
And now it's nice to know that we're good enough to get a player like that.
Yeah.
Now, the secondary.
Worse.
Yeah. Guys, we are close to the bottom in all of college football.
Yeah.
Pass defense.
We are at the bottom in Division I, aren't we?
If not, we're close to it.
I think we're at the bottom. I was trying to know stats. I couldn't find them. I know our buddy Mike Floyd posted a deal about it the other day on Hogville, on their Facebook page, but I couldn't. I was trying. That's what I was looking at my phone earlier, trying to bring it up. But
because I didn't want to sit there and say no, it's just gibberish. No, it's not. No, you have some reasons to be concerned, but I don't think it's sky is falling. Because what I was telling you is one of those was going in for a touchdown. The other two, we give them the ball to midfield. That's pretty much a 21-point swing.
Yeah.
It just is. And a lot of them were momentum killers. I mean, because to turn it over at midfield, you first have to get to midfield.
Yeah.
Well,
Clint, the worst series of that game. Well, it could have been the best. But Drew Sanders gets that unbelievable tackle. I mean, just decleats dude, right? Lays him out. Beautiful tackle. Meets him in the line. The next play, it's 4th and 1. I'm sitting right here on the other side of this wall in my big chair, watching the 60-inch, and I'm in my recliner. I see it's 4th and 1. I see Bobby Petrino was going for it. I grab my handle on my recliner and bring the leg rest down because I'm getting intense. I'm leaning in, right? I'm pressing in. And I start talking to the TV, Clint. I'm here by myself, but I'm talking to the TV. I said, Chris Gregg, London Crawford, he's going for it. Joe Adams, he's going for it. You're in man coverage. You're all up on the line. He's going to sneak somebody out. It's going to happen. He's going to sneak somebody out. And what does he do, Clint?
He snuck somebody out.
He snuck somebody out. He got that little receiver in there behind that tight end and snuck him out through the line. And bless his heart, Blair has been a warrior for us. He's worked his way up from walk-on, but he got sucked in looking for the run like our guys tend to do. That's to me, that's the biggest problem. There's some problems with how they play technically, but the biggest problem is their eyes get caught on that backfield and they get sucked in to fake motions. They get sucked into other things like that. And by the time they're sucked in for that stuff, those receivers are by them. And they're not fast enough to make up for their mistake. That's just the way it is. And they got sucked in. Their eyes were in the backfield. Instead of watching their key, you got to watch that receiver to see if he releases first. And you got to know that they're going to do sneaky stuff with them in that situation. You've got to have seen the film. You got to know it's going to happen. And it happened. Now, look, Clint, if you're a defensive back, I don't care what level you're on. What's going to happen to you from time to time?
Oh, you're going to get burnt.
You're going to get burnt.
You're going to get burnt.
That receiver knows where he's going. You have no idea. They're going to fool you. Now, one of the ways we're combating that this year is we're sacking the mess out of folks.
Yeah.
17 sacks so far, leading the nation. Okay. So I agree with you, what you're talking about. We got to worry about the D-backs. Those skies falling people, we got to worry about that. But let's hold up the roof a little bit. Let's hold it up just a little bit. We're counteracting that. Remember, rushing the passer is also pass defense. Okay. It doesn't get the same statistics like when they burn us, right? But there's a reason that Cincinnati quarterback made such bad throws, because he had pressure on him. He had people breathing down his neck, and he took some hits from our guys. And they were making him make bad throws, thankfully.
No, they were. If this was the NFL, you would be losing that on the back because the NFL, that doesn't count against rush yards, counts Bill's pass yards. But our run defense has been stellar.
Yeah, run defense is great.
Yeah, and I think it's just some stuff that you got to get cleaned up back there. Listen, there's a reason why Jalen Catalon was an All-American, folks. There was a reason, and there's a reason why Miles Slusher was starting. You lose two guys. I mean, Slusher's a high 4-star recruit. You lose guys like that, it hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts, and now you're blending. Two of our starters in the secondary are walk-ons. Now, I don't want that. I'm not saying that to scare anybody. They earn those spots.
Yeah.
But it's it's just the reality. And, they're the best guys we have, or they would not be playing.
Are you as tired as I am of people dogging Hudson Clark?
I've been tired of it. The kid can play.
Yeah. The last game, South Carolina game, it looked bad when he's holding on to that dude's ankle and he's getting away from him and he missed some tackles. Those look bad, right? And tackling is a problem. We missed way too many tackles against Missouri State.
Especially in the open field.
Yes. I don't know what was going on with us. I don't know what happened, but that is a problem. And that's definitely and Pittman. What you gotta love about Pittman is he says, "Yeah, that's a problem." He ain't denying it. He's admitting it. He's not making excuses.
Now, what I love about Pittman not making excuses at one point, and everybody is dogging on Bryles, which is almost as dumb as them dogging on Hudson Clark. I mean, it's dumber, but they're both dumb. Now, one call that they're getting a lot of flack for is 4th and 9. You're kind of that no man's land. Do I punt? Do I try a really super long field goal? Which I don't blame him for not doing. His accuracy 50 plus is coin flip
for anybody.
Yeah, for anybody. But his leg will get more mature, and he'll start making those.
Yeah,
I think Cameron Little is going to kick a long time in the NFL.
Yeah,
like a long, long time. But you're in a position. Okay, might as well just go for it. So 4th and 9. They had a run call. I guess KJ could have kept it or handed it to Rocket. Thought they were going to surprise me. So Bobby surprises us with a 4th and 1 and goes deep. And then I had flashbacks to Houston Nutt when we had them.
Smoke draw. I called that play anyway. That was look, Pittman knows that wasn't the right call. It's one of those that I know what you're thinking when you do it. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking, I'm gonna test my line. We should be able to get 9 yards on these guys anytime we want to, because our offensive line's that much better than their defensive line. And they're gonna have 2 safeties back. So the box is going to be less full than normal. So I got a 225-pound guy and a 240-pound guy that are going to decide which one of them will take the ball. So they can get at least 3 yards just falling forward just because of their side and speed. So if we catch a gap right here, they're not going to be ready for it. But then on the other side, Clint, you're taking a huge, which is what happened. You're taking a huge risk, and everybody would have felt a lot better about it if they would have made a throw there. Yeah. If they would have, ran about a 10-yard in or something over the middle and tried that to Trey Knox or somebody like that. Everybody wouldn't have said, well, that was a dumb call. So that's what you get as a coach. But I'm sure that's what he was thinking on the sideline was we're going to catch them off guard, all that kind of stuff. And that's what he said. But look, 2020 hindsight, right? It was just a bad call.
Yeah. I'm sure they've made bad calls before. And that's what Pittman said. He goes, that's just the honest truth. He goes, they pointed that way.
Dude, his answer to that in the press conference.
Yeah, oh God, it was brilliant.
We've talked before. I don't know if I talked about much on here, and I love some of the Arkansas reporters. Okay, and I watch all the stuff, but sometimes they just ask the dumbest question, or they'll just say, "Well, one of them's real famous for saying, "What do you think about that?" What do you think about that? What kind of question is that? You had 2 sacks this game. What do you think about that? It's good. It was good to sack him. Anyway, so they asked the question, like how was that or what was that or something, the 4th and 9 call, and Pittman just answered them the way they asked it. Like some might have said he was being sort of, he's like, well, KJ turned around, he handed it to Rocket. He went for 5 yards, didn't get a first down. The referee ball. Plus spotted it and pointed toward them and said, "Their ball." And Missouri State went that way very quickly.
Like we needed 9, but we got 5.
That's right. Anyway, it was so funny. But
yeah, no, it was great. It was very well.
Yeah.
Very well done.
So here's the deal, Clint. Yeah, look, there's some issues that if we don't get fixed, we're definitely not going to get the record you predicted at the beginning of the year, which was undefeated. No. And the record that me and Big O picked may not happen either if we keep these non-tackling and problems on defense. Okay.
Hey, but here's the thing. Our next game is Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Give Texas A&M a letter grade this year. C+.
C, yeah.
B-.
Yeah.
I mean, they blow out the Sisters of the Poor.
Yeah.
Then they play App State. They lose to App State.
Yeah.
App State needed a Hail Mary to beat Troy this week.
Yeah, that's right.
So, okay.
With the excitement of having college game day there.
Yeah. Yeah, and took it from A&M. Yeah. So basically now you can say A&M's a flawed team.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's the next week. The preseason number 1 overall pick. Alabama's look good.
Yeah.
But they only won by 1 at Texas.
Yeah.
And Texas lost their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm saying every team is flawed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, but I mean, I think I said it last week on the podcast. I may have sent it to you, Marco Polo. It looks like it's Georgia and everybody else.
Yeah.
It really does. It looks like most teams are playing for second.
Well, and here's the deal, Clint. Watching that game Saturday, did you ever feel panicked like we're about to lose this?
Oh yeah, no, I did 100%.
Well, I'm telling you, I didn't.
Yeah, you're telling me that.
For some reason, I thought KJ's not going to let this happen.
The
more they showed him on the screen, the more calm I got.
Yeah.
KJ is my suave or whatever it is from anger management that he used to say. When I see him, I'm thinking, all right, we got this.
Yeah. Just
something about it. I felt confident. I felt like they're not going to be able to hold us off in the end of the game. And that's what happened. The KJ's connection with the receivers is better. There was a couple drops, but Landers went over 100 yards, didn't he?
And Keytron had
the big catch.
Which led to the Rocket fumble. But
yeah.
But see, this is why the sky's not falling.
Yeah.
Quarterback, are we better or worse than last year?
Better.
Same guy, a little bit more mature. He's taking a little bit more mature. Running back, are we better than worse? Better or worse?
I think better, and I think it's going to be even better when Dominic gets there. But yeah. Rocket Sanders is much better.
Offensive line, I would say better.
Yeah.
I mean, they won the South Carolina game.
Well, and the offensive line at the beginning of the year last year had some struggle bus times, and we're not really seeing that as much.
And I would say we're better at receiver too. I really would. And I
think from top to bottom, yes.
Yeah.
I still wish we had a Treylon Burks, a guy that, he could just go to and just throw it into double coverage and know he's going to come up with it. Yeah. I still wish we had that. We don't. And that's okay. That's okay.
No, and it is what it is. But I'm with you. I think top to bottom, 1 to 9, it's better. Just the difference between our number 1 last year and this year is pretty wide.
And Hazelwood could end up being more of that. Okay, last year Burks and Jefferson had a couple years together. Hazelwood's learning that. I think Hazelwood is a go-to guy. I think he's going to be that. And I think Landers is becoming that. Yeah. But I think KJ got to get more comfortable through the season.
And your boy Trey Knox is taking a step up this year too.
Yes, and he's a go-to guy too. I think.
Yeah, so I feel I overall from top to bottom feel better about receiver.
Yeah,
I really do.
Well, you can't just double Traylon like you could last year.
No.
Last year, if it was 3rd and 5 or 4th and short, and we needed a pass, they would double Traylon and then because that's where he was going to go. Now you don't know where he's going to go because any of those guys we just mentioned, I've seen him already this year go to them in clutch situations.
Last year, I think Warren Thompson was probably our number 2 receiver.
He was, yeah.
Number 2 target.
Statistic-wise,
yeah.
I think Morris may have been his most comfortable.
Yeah.
That's behind Burks.
Well, but he's like, he's probably 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
And that's not really because Warren Thompson's a heck of a football player.
Yeah.
I think, you look at it from
well, and Clint, now we're going in against A&M.
At Jerry World.
Neutral site. Be a lot of Hog fans there. Be a lot of A&M fans there. How are you feeling about this game?
They haven't exactly set the world on fire. They lost to App State. Man, we tend to make quarterbacks like Max Johnson look like Peyton Manning. We just do. Your Bo Nix, your Max Johnsons, your guys that are just So I don't know. I feel like this is a game we should win. But for the reasons I said, the defense of the secondary still scares me. It depends on how we get pressure. Their defense is good.
Their defensive front's good. Linebackers are good. I don't think their line can block our pass rush.
No, I don't. I will probably pick, if I'm forecasting the score right now, I'm going to say 24-17 Arkansas.
I'll say 28-21 Arkansas.
Yeah. So I'm now you're going to have to play better than I don't think I'm breaking any. You're going to play better than you did Saturday.
Yeah.
You just are.
No, you have to, but I think they're going to go in motivated.
Well,
I think here's what I'm hoping. I don't know if they're going to do this. I'm hoping they're going to go in a little bit embarrassed about last week. Even though it was a win, they know they could have done better.
Yeah.
And they've been hearing that all week. Okay. Sam Pittman took a very glasses half full. You listen to post-game speech and stuff like that. He was very glasses half full type of guy with them. But they've been hearing it all week. And so they want to go out and prove that they're that team that played those first 2 games. And I don't know. I'm just something I feel good about it because I think this team deserves game day in Fayetteville against Bama.
Yeah, I know. And I think they'll get it if they win. I really do.
I think so.
I'm excited for the game. It was a big, okay, you beat them last year. Now, can you take the next step? You're going to do it again.
Yeah.
And I think this team's got goals that they want to achieve. And to achieve those goals, they have to beat A&M.
Well, and here's the other thing. Pittman's going to have that trophy out there. I wouldn't doubt if it's been in the middle of the locker room all week.
Yeah.
That what's it, the Southwest Classic or whatever, the trophy for it. It's going to be out there. This is the first trophy game of the year. He's going to have it out there. He's going to use that as motivation. Let's keep it home. I think they're going to pull it out. Who do you expecting to have a big game?
Man, I think you'll see big things out of Hazelwood. I really do. Hazelwood and Landers, KJ. I think our receivers are going to tell the story. And I expect our offensive line to keep KJ upright.
Yeah, I think. Here's the other thing. That reminded me of something. Clint, here's what some of the skies falling people were saying last week.
Oh, okay. I can't wait.
Why did KJ not run the ball more when he was back there in the pocket? Why did he just stay in the pocket? Did you hear that too? People griping.
Well, I didn't. I haven't heard people griping, but they did. I mean, the people were asking Sammy because he was comfortable back there.
Well, first of all, Missouri State. Look, folks, watch the whole game. Don't just watch the ball. When you're watching football, if all you do is watch the ball, you're missing a large percentage of the game. Their defensive line was trying to keep him in the pocket. They weren't pass rushing him hard. They were pushing against the offensive lineman, but they wasn't trying a lot of techniques to get off the offensive lineman. They wanted to keep him in the pocket. They were containing him. They had a spy on him, and whenever he would try to step up like he was going to go through a gap, they were closing that gap down. They wanted him to sit back in the pocket because they knew if he got out on the edges, he could hurt them worse. That was their whole defensive scheme. Their defensive scheme wasn't to sack KJ Jefferson. It wasn't. Their scheme was keep him in the pocket, keep him contained, don't let him outside the pocket. There was no running lanes for him. Yeah. If he would have taken off running, he would have to run out of the back of the pocket and then try to get around the guys to do it.
And man,
it's not his game.
No, and he threw for almost 400 yards, didn't he? I mean,
335 or something. Yeah.
I mean, so
yeah.
Get out of here.
Sorry. I think for this game, I think you're right. I think KJ is just going to get better and better at passing because he's getting more comfortable with the receivers. So I think we're going to see that improve week to week. There may be some low points here and there just because defenses do better or whatever. But I think this week, I think we're going to see improvements there. Also, because I think we're going to have to, because running, if Sanders has over 100 yards this game, we're for sure winning, I think they'll do a better job of containing Rocket. But I think he'll still have a pretty good game, hopefully. I expect our defensive line to have a good game. I think we're going to we may not have as many sacks as we had last week, but I think we're going to keep that sack lead.
Yeah.
I think our defensive line is going to have a good game. I think people like Zach Williams, Jordan Dominic, Landon Jackson continues to get better. I've been watching him a lot, and he continues to get better. He doesn't do as good a job of keeping contained because he's a speed rusher. Okay, speed rushers don't contain as well.
He's all over the field too. Have you noticed that? I looked up thinking he was bumper pull sometimes.
Yeah,
I just see the zero.
Yeah,
and I'm like, man, and no, it's Landon Jackson. He's all over the place.
He's going to be trouble for some guys later this year. There's going to be some right tackles that are going to look like bumbling idiots trying to block him because he's got that much quickness.
I'm excited. We can compete in the trenches with A&M and Alabama now.
Yeah.
We couldn't have said that 2 years ago. I don't know if we could have said that last year.
No, you're right.
But yeah, I'm excited about the season. I'm excited. Definitely some things to clean up.
Yeah.
But A&M right now, they're calling shows and out towards College Station that they're like, the sky's falling there too. The sky's falling everywhere except for Athens, Georgia. And maybe
speaking of skies falling, Reese Davis, I think, came out today and said that what's his name at Auburn's pretty much done, which everybody kind of knew that. But
yeah.
And from what I was talking to Mike Floyd earlier, who lives in Alabama, and he said what he's hearing from some Auburn alum is they would like to get what's his name? He's from old coach. It's a politician now.
Tuberville.
Yeah. He's from right down the road in Camden. Anyway, they're trying to talk him into, or some people are wanting him to come back and be AD, but that probably won't happen. He's on that that gravy train of politics now. Anyway.
I always knew he was a scumbag.
But it's just, man, it's so good that we're where we're at. That we got a team that's they're 3-0 right now. And man, it's exciting.
So, sexier job. Auburn or Nebraska?
Man, I had to say Auburn because they've done it recently.
No, I agree, but
But the thing is, they're maybe firing an AD also. Probably are. So
Auburn, hire your AD, then your football coach.
That's right.
Don't let an interim
make that a no. Auburn, you do you.
Yeah, do whatever you want to, Auburn.
That's right. Hey, but two names that's going to come up for that job: Bobby Petrino and Hugh Freeze. And Arkansas is playing both of them this year. We just got done with one, and we'll have Hugh Freeze coming in with Liberty. And another one is Neon Dion. Of course, he's being mentioned out of Arizona State.
Dion's going to get him a Power 5 job.
Yeah.
And one thing I do like about Dion is Dion's like, I'm not going to play these FBS teams. I don't have the linemen. He goes, I can compete. He goes, I can compete in the secondary and the quarterback.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, all them 5 stars that's been going to Jackson State are going to be in that transfer portal real quick when Dion,
wherever he goes.
Yeah, and I think if you're Arizona State, Nebraska, Auburn, you know that.
Yeah. I don't see him going to Nebraska.
Oh no, he ain't going to Dion ain't going to Nebraska.
You see Dion at a party school like Arizona State though. Because I know he's not a big partier anymore and stuff. Like he keeps a pretty clean slate, I think. But back in the day, Neon with his necklaces and all that stuff, his bling and dude. Anyway, well, Clint, the Hogs are rolling.
Yeah, 3-0, going on 4-0.
And folks, we appreciate you listening to us and watching, and please continue to do so. Get on the YouTubes, get on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those different places. Tune in radio. Clint's, what are you doing with your hands?
I was trying to list all the places we were in. Yeah.
All those good places. Like and share. Hit us up on social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Let us know what you think, how we're doing. Folks, we're not going to announce it just yet, but I think we got a pretty good guest for next week.
I know. We had to talk to Little Wayne.
We'd had to talk, yeah. Look. We know
people who know people.
We know people who knows people. Okay, that's all we're saying. So, yeah. Anyway, but I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I will tell you his name has been mentioned on this podcast today.
It has. I've heard it a couple times.
Yep. So anyway, we'll leave it there, and just because we don't want to jinx it to have something fall through and it not work out. So, but it's supposed to be confirmed.
If it does, let me tell you something, Little Wayne. I will be in your Twitter inbox. Like that.
Word.
Get it. You're going to get a strongly worded direct message from me.
And then you're going to have to call your boy Juvenile because you're going to have to back that thing up.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, because of what happened, I listened to that song on the way home today. Anyway, I'm sort of ashamed to say that. Shouldn't have said it. Now it's out there for the whole world to hear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You can edit it, but you're probably
No, I'm leaving it. I don't care.
There you go.
All right. Well, y'all seriously appreciate you. Hey, if you need a roof, call Hometown Roofing.
Hometown Roofing.
They'll take care of all your roofing needs. We always got to say what's up to some of our dedicated. Clint.
Not Gabe.
Gabe, come on now.
No.
I don't even know Gabe. I like Gabe.
Okay. Hi, Gabe.
Hey, Gabe.
Hi, Travis's mom.
Michael McDaniel tried to call me while I was on the podcast. I'll call you back here in a minute.
You'll already have called him by the time he sees this, Travis.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I already called him. And it was a great
You'll probably even mention, like, hey, I just listened to the podcast.
Our boy Mike Floyd, enjoyed talking to him. His kids are playing football, kind of like Jimbo's son. He's got a son that's 13 years old. Is like, I think he said 6'1", 6'2", 225 pounds. He showed up for registration, and the football coach said, "You're coming out for football." And he said, "Well, I'll come watch practice and see." And he went and watched practice, and he went out for football. So Mike's being football dad.
Could you imagine how like angry like the Atkins coaches were that Chance wasn't playing football?
Oh yeah.
I mean, his dad's an All-American Division II football player from Arkansas Tech. His sister's one of the best players on the softball team. Yeah. So obviously, it's an athletic family.
Yeah.
I mean, his two uncles were college athletes too. Shane played baseball, and Kevin played at Tech too.
And Shane was a heck of a high school player too.
Oh yeah, and this kid, he's just like, man, I don't want to play football.
Yeah.
I don't want to play football. So
anyway, way to go, Chance. Is that his name?
Chance.
Way to go, Chance. Proud of you, buddy. Keep it up. Listen to your daddy. He knows how to hit them hard and hit them quick. And don't listen to that tires thing, because we know he was a stud on the
team.
But anyway, seriously, folks, thank y'all so much. Like and share. Tell other people about the Big C, Bigger T podcast. Let them know what you think about it. Let them know how good it is. Because, y'all, it's good. Good to the last drop. And you know what? That's when we say, let's let the beat drop.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change.